Self-belief is one of the most important factors that shapes the direction of a person's life. It is not something external that can be given by others. It is an internal structure that decides how a person responds to challenges, failure, and opportunity. Two people can have the same talent, the same environment, and the same resources, but the one with stronger self-belief will always perform differently because they will act with more consistency and less hesitation. Most people misunderstand failure. They assume failure happens because they are not skilled enough or not intelligent enough. In reality, most failure comes from hesitation, avoidance, and incomplete effort. And behind all of these behaviors is one root cause: lack of belief in oneself. When a person does not believe they can succeed, they do not fully engage with challenges. They hold back their effort, they avoid risks, and they mentally prepare themselves for failure even before trying properly. This creates a silent cycle. A person tries something new, but not with full commitment. Because of incomplete effort, the result is average or negative. That result then reinforces the belief that they are not capable. After that, the next attempt is even weaker. Over time, this cycle becomes identity. The person starts saying things like, "I'm not good at this," or "this is not for me," without realizing that the outcome they experienced was never a reflection of their true ability, but a reflection of their limited belief. Self-belief does not come from thinking positive thoughts or repeating affirmations. It comes from evidence created through action. The brain does not trust words. It trusts results. When you take action and survive difficulty, your brain records that experience. When you complete something difficult, your brain adjusts your internal model of what you are capable of. That is how belief is formed. It is built slowly through repeated exposure to challenge. Confidence is often misunderstood as a starting point, but it is actually a byproduct. People wait for confidence before starting something important, but that is a misunderstanding of how human psychology works. No one starts with full confidence. Confidence develops after repeated attempts. The first attempt is usually uncertain, the second attempt is slightly better, and over time, familiarity replaces fear. This is how real confidence is built in any field, whether it is business, sports, communication, or skill development. Self-doubt is not necessarily a sign of weakness. It is a natural function of the brain. The human mind is designed to minimize risk and avoid potential harm. When you attempt something unfamiliar, your mind automatically generates protective thoughts. These thoughts are often negative or fear-based. It creates scenarios of failure, rejection, or embarrassment. This is not because those outcomes are guaranteed, but because the brain is trying to keep you within a safe zone. The problem begins when a person treats these thoughts as truth instead of interpretation. A thought like "I might fail" is not a prediction. It is just a mental simulation. But most people treat it as reality and stop taking action. In doing so, they allow imagination to override possibility. Successful individuals experience the same internal resistance. The difference is not the absence of fear, but the response to fear. They understand that fear increases when you move toward growth. If something feels uncertain or uncomfortable, it usually means it is outside your current limits, and that is exactly where development happens. Instead of stopping, they continue. They act despite uncertainty, not after it disappears. Self-belief is strengthened through repetition of small wins. It does not require massive achievements in the beginning. Even small actions done consistently create psychological evidence. For example, if a person decides to wake up early and follows through for a week, they build trust in their own discipline. If they commit to learning a skill daily and continue despite boredom or resistance, they strengthen their identity as someone who can persist. Over time, these small actions accumulate and change how a person sees themselves. One of the biggest obstacles to self-belief is waiting. People wait for motivation, wait for the right time, wait for clarity, or wait for confidence to appear naturally. But waiting is often disguised avoidance. The truth is that clarity does not come before action. It comes during action. Understanding develops through experience, not through thinking alone. The longer a person waits, the more disconnected they become from progress, and the stronger their doubt becomes. At some point, every person has to confront a simple truth. No one is coming to build their confidence for them. No external source can permanently replace internal decision-making. Motivation can help temporarily, but it cannot sustain long-term behavior. What sustains progress is a decision to act regardless of emotional state. This is where self-belief becomes practical instead of theoretical. A person is not defined by what they feel in a moment, but by what they repeatedly do over time. If someone repeatedly avoids challenges, their identity becomes avoidance. If someone repeatedly faces challenges, their identity becomes resilience. Identity is not fixed, it is shaped by repetition. The most important realization is that you do not need to feel fully ready to begin. Readiness is not a requirement, it is a result. People become ready by starting before they feel ready. Every skill, every success, and every improvement begins in uncertainty. Waiting for perfect readiness only delays progress. Self-belief is not something that magically appears. It is built through action, reinforced through experience, and stabilized through repetition. It grows when you keep your word to yourself, even in small things. It weakens when you ignore your own commitments. Over time, this process shapes the internal identity that determines how far you are willing to go. Ultimately, self-belief is not about thinking you can succeed. It is about behaving in a way that creates proof that you are capable of learning, adapting, and improving. Once that proof accumulates, doubt loses its power, and at that point, progress stops being a question of belief and becomes a matter of execution.